All right, so I'm going to be talking about some Patreon requests today. And as always, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. Head on over to my Patreon. Hit the second tier, the second tier. That'll allow you access to do so. But other than that, let's get started with the video. So this is going to be my first. This is going to be my first tentative fan fiction idea that I have. I haven't done a fanfiction idea for most of them because I've just been going through a funk, and it's been keeping me from doing story ideas. And I'm still not 100% ready yet to start doing Patreon story ideas. But you know, you got to get back in the swing somehow. So let's do something small. So this, like I said, this Patreon request comes from John McKinney, who asked me to do an Ed, and Eddy Bully crossover. Yeah, you guys remember that game, Bully? Yeah, Bully's back in Pog form. So let's get started. So the story begins with the Eds basically, they're running another scam. This time around, it's basically they're making cars for kids. I'm sure I just triggered everyone's PTSD with saying cars for kids. If you know the commercial, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so they basically made like cars for fake cars for everyone, and they basically they basically been spending them out to kids. But then, you know, one kid comes up and his name is Jimmy Hopkins, and Jimmy's just like, seems pretty cool, but these things work? And he's like, and Eddie's like, of course they work. I don't know, who do you think you are? Like, who are you anyway? Oh, I'm Jimmy. No, that's Jimmy over there in his lame ass retainer. Why do I always get attacked emotionally and physically? And Jimmy just replies, no, I'm Jimmy Hopkins. I'm from the academy, from the neighboring county. And they're like, so why? And Double D's like, so why are you here? Like, what? Why are you here exactly? And Jimmy just goes, I'm cutting my summer class and just thought, I want to do some exploring. I was feeling antsy. You ever see Ferris Bueller's Day Off? And Ed just replies with, you mean the guy from the '98 Godzilla movie? No. So Jimmy's just like, all right, let me see one of these cars, these fan-made cars you made. So Jimmy takes it out on a spin. It thankfully doesn't fall apart, and Jimmy's actually like impressed. Like, he's legit like, this actually is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. So he's just kind of like, all right, I dig it. I legit dig this kind of thing, and you guys are pretty cool. So, but you guys just keep doing. Let me put this out here. You guys keep coming on here and hoping to make 25 cents or 50 cents at most from people. I can take you back to the academy I'm from, and we'll make $5 to $10 on this shit, maybe even 20. And Double D's like, oh, that won't be necessary, good sir. We don't, you don't need to do that. And Eddie goes immediately, like, grabs him by his cap and just pulls it all the way down. And he's just like, don't mind him. He's an idiot. I like money, however. Let's go. So Jimmy takes the Eds back, and the school, the academy. Double D's like, this is one of the most the academy, the Bullworth Academy is one of the most prestigious academies of all time. I can't believe they let you in. No offense, Mr. Hopkins. And he's like, none taken. So yeah, let me take you to the tool shed, where the workshop is, and you guys can really work your magic. But this is a school we're not allowed in. How can we, And Eddie goes, but Double D, I'm gonna need you to shut the hell up, okay? Think of the money, Double D. Think of the money. 5 tens, more than tens. So the Eds get taken to the wood shop, and some of Jimmy's rival Gary's boys are there, and they're like, so look who decided to come back after cutting class. You should have stayed out, Hopkins, and you brought some new faggot friends. And Double D goes, all of us are heterosexual, sir. And also that's extremely offensive to anyone. That's extremely offensive. Why would you say that? And Jimmy just goes, "Welcome to Bullworth Academy. You guys know how to fight?" And Eddy goes, "No." Well, there's 5 of them, and there's like four of them, 4 of us. I think we can take them. And yeah, the Eds fail at fighting. They immediately get their ass kicked. But Jimmy 4-on-1s them and chases them off. And they're like, "Gary's gonna get you, Hopkins." And he's like, "I'm shaking in my fucking boots." Anyway, let's get this shit together. Shouldn't we alert a teacher? That's fun. Alert a teacher. What are you? What are you, a narc? So they build a better version of the cars they were dealing out, and basically Jimmy now he just gets up on a podium and just shows this off to all the teens, saying, "Hey, you guys want to have your own cars that aren't street legal? You don't need a license for? Check this shit out!" And just shows it off, and everyone just immediately is like, "Holy shit!" And he goes, "Oh, do I hear a bidding for the bids start at $50?" And immediately Eddy just has a heart attack. He just collapses. $50? So there's a bidding war, and Jimmy gets about $200 from one of the rich kids. And she immediately goes in the car, and Double D's like trying to warn Jimmy, I didn't even test it. It's a prototype. And immediately the car falls apart. And Jimmy's like, I should have seen that coming. Run. So the Eds and Jimmy run back all the way back to the cul-de-sac, and he's just like, I kind of figured it would happen, but hey, it was a fun day. You got to see my world, I got to see yours. Maybe I'll stop by I'll stop by Peach Creek at some point. Maybe I'll stop by Peach Creek again some point. And Double D's like, "Please don't. I do not want to have this experience again." But however, Eddy's like, "Hey, you got $200. I think there should be a 60-40 split, or at least a 70-30 split between the two of us, since Double D and the rest of us did all the work." And Jimmy's like, "Oh yeah, I guess I do owe you money, but okay, bye." It just takes off running, and the Eds proceed to chase after him, just try to get the money back. But eventually, Jimmy he casually drops half the money, like $100 on the ground, just to show like, hey, they did their work. I just wanted to fuck with them a bit. And of course, Eddy sees the $100 bill and is like, "Boys, we're rich. I'll share it with a lot of you, kind of." And as he's like holding the $100 bill in the air, Bird comes along and snatches it. And of course, Eddy immediately proceeds to cry. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is the Ed, and Eddy Bully crossover. I want to thank John McKinney for this Patreon request, as well as continued patronage. And like I said, if you'd like to have a Patreon request done, just hit the link in the description box below. Head on over to my Patreon, hit the 2nd tier. That'll allow you access to do so. But other than that, I hope you all enjoy this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.